Hey guys, it's Holly. Welcome back. So, I wanted to take a few minutes to kind of talk about how our homeschooling has been going because I haven't really done like a video about homeschooling where I like talk much about it lately. I did a TikTok live the other night where I was kind of like showing people some of the stuff that we use for enrichment and on the weekends and the crafts and stuff, life skills and whatnot that we do. Um, so, this last school year, was my first year to create my own curriculum and just do my own thing. So I have two children, two boys. My oldest is 9, and my youngest is 5. My youngest is about to be entering kindergarten this year, and then my oldest is entering 4th grade. So we are entering our 6th year. I'm entering my 6th year of homeschooling because I've been homeschooling since my oldest was in pre-K. He went to public school very briefly, just kind of for the experience, and that was right before COVID. And then COVID hit, and he was only in public school for about 6 or 7 weeks. And then after that, we never went back. It was just kind of a lot for us to handle. So, um, just to kind of give you guys a quick little background, like I have a ton of different reasons on why I homeschool. And I'm not saying it because I feel like I need to explain myself, because I don't feel like anyone really ever needs to explain their school choice. Um, I do fully support people having their own choices for their families and what's best for their family, whether it's public school, whether it's private school, whether it's homeschooling, however you choose to school your children. I do see that homeschooling is gaining a ton of popularity. It gained a whole lot of popularity after COVID and just in general because honestly, a lot of the reasons are obvious, but a lot of the other reasons, I mean, one of the biggest reasons that I see that I think a lot of people don't think about necessarily is that the family dynamic is changing. Like lifestyle dynamics are changing, and not everybody wants to be on such a rigid schedule. Not everybody wants kind of like, especially if you're not a 9 to 5er, you might not have as rigid of a schedule. And now, obviously, there are some people, everyone's lifestyle is going to be different. Some people are not ready or cannot break free of that lifestyle, and that's some people like that lifestyle, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 lifestyle. Um, but in my family, we're not particularly fond of it. We don't really like it. And so we like being able to sleep in a little bit. We like being able to just make our own schedule, do our own thing. So primarily, main reason we homeschool is because it gives us freedom to do what we want when we want within reason. You do have to stay consistent, and there is some sense of structure, but overall, it cuts back on the stress of life. Like, especially as a parent, it cuts back your stress excessively. And a lot of people would probably think that that's not true, and that it would create more stress. And I guess for some people, maybe that would be the case. But from everybody that I've talked to that homeschools, like, it cuts back their stress like exponentially. So for us, that's a huge thing. Our lives are far less stressful thanks to homeschooling. And secondly, less illnesses. So it goes without saying that when your kids are in school, they're going to get sick more. Regardless of how old they are, even if they're high school, even if they're middle school, especially elementary. Now, my kids, obviously we still get sick sometimes no matter what. And we do have a lot of social activities that we do. Although a lot of them are at the park or out in the open air, outside type of thing. Our PE class is inside though. And then we do some other classes as well. Not every single week, but more like monthly or bi-monthly type of thing. So yeah, we still get sick. It's not like we just stay in the house and never go anywhere. But they're going to get sick a lot more in public school. So um and honestly, like I really like the idea of being able to educate my own children, being able to personalize their own education plan, being able to just give them what I never had and what a lot of kids, will never have and have never had a chance to have, because you can tailor the education to each child. It also saves a ton of time. Our school day is like 2 hours. This year it'll probably be a little longer, so maybe 2 hours, not even 2.5 hours out of a day, and that's max. So yeah, I mean, like, it saves a lot of time. You don't have to send your kid to school for 7 or 8 hours in a day, and then they come home and they've got homework, there's paperwork you have to fill out. That's another huge thing for me. Everything that goes with the public schooling. So, like, they're calling you, they're emailing you, there's all this stuff to read, there's all this stuff to sign, there's, send money for this, send money for that, it's a lot to keep up with. And to be completely honest with you guys, like, the amount of keeping up with the public school, not to mention transportation, um, whether the kids ride the bus or not. My youngest did not ride the bus when he was in pre-K, or my oldest, I'm sorry. So, like, if you factor all those things in, to be completely honest, homeschooling actually can take less time than all of the logistics that go with just dealing with the public schooling itself. So anyways, and like I said before, I am not, like, anti-public school. I think that it's very important that we do have public school systems, because that is something that, unfortunately, for a lot of children, that's their safe space. For a lot of children, that's the only place they get a good meal. For a lot of children, that's the only place where people care for them, take care of them, and actually see to that they're okay. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in. It's very true. And I do believe that it's important that we do have a public school system, and that it's very important for certain individuals. And that happens to be a lot of kids. Everyone's got a different situation. So with that being said, so I used a couple of other curriculums in the past. So I like to do somewhat of a Christian curriculum. We're a non-denominational Protestant family, so we're not super strict. We're very open-minded. So for kindergarten, well, for pre-K with both kids, I did my own thing, because to tell you the truth, you really don't need a curriculum for pre-K. You honestly really don't for kindergarten either. But for kindergarten, with my oldest, we used Abeka. So Abeka is a very basic Christian curriculum, and we used it for the whole year. There were things I liked about it. It gave me everything I needed. It didn't feel like it was too much. It felt like it was fairly the right amount. It might have been a little more than what I would have done, but it worked out pretty well for the most part. There were just a few things. We decided not to purchase it again because it was a little bit more expensive than what I wanted to pay, and it also, there were just some things in there that were, I don't know, kind of like the gender roles and everything, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people that do the whole gender role thing, but I want my children to know that, I want to teach them that, just because they are a man doesn't mean that they have to, that when they grow up and get married or whatever, that their partner has to do everything in terms of the housework. I don't know. So I just kind of got the impression with Rebecca, like, it was just a little bit legalistic, I guess you could say. It's really hard for me to explain that, but a lot of it did have to do with the whole gender role thing that I was seeing with the content that came with a lot of the Rebecca materials. And I know that's controversial. Sorry, guys, but that's just my take on it. I mean, I am a stay-at-home mom, like a part-time stay-at-home mom, so, like, I do a lot of cooking and cleaning, and, but in the same point, I think it's really important that we do teach our sons, that they need to know the basic skills of cooking and cleaning, and also taking care of the home and children as well, because, even if their partner happens to take care of most of this stuff, you never know when you're going to need to step in and help out, or what could potentially happen. So with that being said, for first grade and second grade, with my oldest, we used Sunlight, spelled Sonlight. Now, Sunlight, I liked better. The issue with Sunlight was it was just a lot of books. So I really like a literature-based homeschooling. So we do use computers a little bit. We have a few laptops here at home. We also use the computers at the library too. We go to the library like all the time. Um, anyways, so sorry, I feel like there's so much I could say here. Like, I could go on, and this video could be so horribly long, but I'm gonna try to contain myself. So, where was I? Okay, yes. So when it comes to Sunlight curriculum, I was impressed overall because I felt like it's a little bit more of an open-minded, kind of like broad spectrum Christian curriculum, and we really enjoyed it for the most part. Like I say, I did feel like it was a lot of books, especially they give you this like instructor guide with the history Bible literature package, and like it was just so mind-boggling huge. Like there was a bunch of it for both years that I never even got to, like as far as like review questions. So yeah, I mean honestly it was just a little much, and that's ultimately why we decided to not do Sunlight anymore. So yeah, so we used Rebecca, we used Sunlight, and I was looking at some other curriculums, and I just decided that, I was going to do my own thing. So this last year was third grade and pre-K. So again, with the pre-K, like I say, did my own thing, just use whatever stuff from the library, free resources, also just educational things on TV, educational videos, DVDs, audiobooks, etc., as well as lots of things like puzzles, games, you name it. Kids magazines, highlights, those have been a big thing, National Geographics, etc. And all of that has sufficed pretty well. We did buy like a couple of really cheap like coloring books, and just stuff like a letter dry erase board book that has like letters and numbers, shapes, etc. Practicing tracing, practicing using kid scissors. Pre-K is very basic, and honestly kindergarten really is too. So I just decided to do my own thing. And so for my oldest, for this last year, we used a lot of Charlotte Mason curriculum. So Charlotte Mason is basically, it's also Christian curriculum. A wide variety of people use it though, like some that are more legalistic and some that are a little more, I don't want to say open-minded, but more like us. That's all I can really tell you. So we have really enjoyed using a lot of the Charlotte Mason curriculum materials. So there's not a ton of different stuff you have to buy with Charlotte Mason. Like they offer like free consultations, so you can do your own curriculum, put it together. But I actually only used like maybe 3 or 4 different things from Charlotte Mason, and then I also added in some other things as well. Not necessarily from other like well-known curriculums, but just some stuff I bought on Amazon. I bought some copy work and stuff like that off Amazon, just really cheap, $5, $7, $8 here and there. And then we did, let's see, what else did we do? Some textbooks that my best friend, her son, he's in public school, and he ends up getting all these textbooks that he never uses. And so she gives us a lot of those. And so we have been able to look through them. To be completely honest, using part of them, yes, they are very helpful, but they're very excessive. And so therefore, we definitely do not use anywhere close to the whole book when it comes to these textbooks. But they are public school textbooks. So variety is good. Keeping a variety in your materials as well. But that is what I did for third grade. So I kind of try to keep the theme Charlotte Mason, but like I say, I did add in like some other stuff, and that was really fun. We do a lot of field trips, we do museums, we try to do as many like museum type stuff as we can, as many like outings. We focus a lot on life skills. I like for the kids to just kind of watch me live day-to-day life, things like running errands, things like watching me kind of manage our finances, like not really like talk to them about our finances, but more or less just like, be like, hey, we're going to balance the checkbook. We're going to, you're going to watch me write a check. You're going to watch me do this or do that. And I feel like, that really helps them, because honestly, our kids these days, I feel like they're just not getting nearly enough life skills. So I want them to see me going throughout my day-to-day life. And so that's really cool. So for this next year, I've got kindergarten, and I've got 4th grade. So I'm really excited about this. Like, they're just growing up so fast. But I'm just doing my own thing yet again. And I have most everything ready. So, again, I'm using a little bit of Charlotte Mason this year, less than last year, just a little bit of that. So I'm just throwing in a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I also have a pretty big kind of like all subjects book that I got from, the brand is The Good and the Beautiful, and that is also another mainstream Christian type curriculum. That book I actually got for free from, sometimes we have like our homeschool group, people will donate certain materials, and so sometimes we can get stuff for free, which is really cool. So someone had donated quite a bit of curriculum, and so we got those books. So it is an all subjects book, so it's got like geography, language arts, it's got some, I don't think it has any math in it. It has some history, social studies, like it's got a ton of different sections, so that's really cool. I also found at a garage sale way up in Idaho, oddly enough, I found another science book from The Good and the Beautiful. So I went ahead and bought that too. It was only $15, and yeah, like those can be pretty expensive. And anyway, so I just grabbed one of those. So I'm using a little bit of the Good and the Beautiful, a little bit of Charlotte Mason, and then everything else I'm using is just stuff that I either got for free, that was given to me or passed down, or stuff that I just found from the library, or from, like, I don't know if you guys ever see like those little free libraries. We have found a ton of stuff from there that's been really helpful, and we donate a lot as well when we finish stuff, because there's no way we can keep all our books. So yeah, I do want to focus a little bit more on starting to kind of teach my oldest how to type a little bit. So I know I didn't learn typing till the 6th grade, but that was also back in the age of dinosaur. So yeah, I want to start teaching him kind of like the basics anyway. So that's one thing we'll do, and maybe teach him how to like do PowerPoint presentation, just some basic stuff, because I feel like that's important, even though I'm just not a tech person. But yeah, we try to just do as much variety as we can. So I've got everything ready. For kindergarten, I've got a lot of pretty basic stuff, a lot of the stuff we had for last year and never got to as well. But letters, numbers, sight words, counting, games, puzzles, things to just really make it fun, make learning fun. Magazines, so many magazines. So anyways, and for those of you that don't know, if you're considering homeschooling, or you know someone that is, it is actually possible to homeschool for free. It is actually possible to do it without spending hardly any money. So there are also programs like public school, online public school programs like K through 12. I've seen it advertised everywhere. I think the reason we decided not to do K through 12 is just because you do still have to meet with the teacher virtually, and I didn't want to have to worry about meeting times and all that kind of thing. It just wasn't for me. I like to be very, very flexible when it comes to our schooling. So we also do 4 days a week, and then we do 3-day weekends, and then we take plenty of breaks. We like to do like a week for fall break, 2 weeks for Christmas break. We do a week for spring break. And then we just, like if we have something serious going on, let's say somebody gets sick, or a couple of us are really sick, we got to go to the doctor, say somebody has to go to the emergency room, obviously we might take off a day or two for that. So, but for the most part, that's how we do it. I like to take a solid 3 months in the summer. Sometime this year it's actually a little bit over 3 months, because we've also been doing a ton of stuff this summer. So anyways, just the beauty of homeschooling. You pick when you start, you pick when you stop, you pick virtually everything about it. So every state does have different laws, but anyways, yeah, so I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that, and I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about what I did this last year and what I'm planning on doing this coming year. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted, let you know how it goes, and I'm just gonna stick to it and stay the course. So I'm really excited, like no nervousness at all, just ready to jump into it. We're still gonna wait a few weeks We're probably not going to start until like the 1st of September, just because, like I said before, we've been doing so much stuff. But this video has been longer than I thought it would. But anyways, I hope that it helps somebody. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me. You can email me. I always put my email in my description box, so feel free to reach out any way that's convenient for you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.